Take a minute and think about what words or phrases come to mind that describe an engaged workforce. If you think about if your employees and your colleagues and really even yourself, if you're engaged in your workplace, what does that mean? What does it look like? Employee engagement is not really about someone being happy, but rather it's their emotional commitment to the organization and its goals. And so when you think about that, take 3 minutes and just brainstorm what words or phrases come to mind to describe an engaged workforce. And POSNER talk about a positive workplace attitude and actually have a measurement that they use. These 10 areas are some of the things that they talk about with their positive workplace attitudes measure. Things like, are employees clear about what's expected of them? Do they feel like they're being highly productive? Are they committed to the organization's success? Do they feel like they're making a difference? All of these and the other ones that are listed talk about how an employee feels engaged in the workplace. What we know is that the leader makes the most difference in workplace attitude. It's not about money. It is not actually even about the job itself, but rather the leader and the leader's role. So as a leader, the question for you is not, will I make a difference, but really, what difference will I make? As you think about this idea of the importance of a leader in workplace engagement and attitude, I want you to take a moment and think about when you were at your personal best as a leader. What are some things that happened that made you your personal best? What made you feel like you were at your personal best? What results stand out that let you know you were at your personal best? The example you think of could be personal or professional, but take a moment now and pause and write down and reflect about your time as a personal best as a leader. The top 4 characteristics for admired leaders are honesty, competence, inspiring, and forward-looking. When you think about these characteristics, what one stands out for you is something that you really are very good at? What one of these do you think maybe something you need to work on? But what we know is that the number 1 is honesty. People want to know that they can trust their leader. They want to know that their leader tells them what they're going to do and they do it. They want to know that their leader is competent to accomplish the things they say they're going to do. And so think about these top 4 characteristics and how they relate to you as a leader. As KOUZES and POSNER point out in their book, The Leadership Challenge, they have 5 key practices they believe are present in exemplary leadership. Model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. Each week in this course, we'll be going through one of these areas of exemplary leadership. But what we'll do right now is we'll take a just brief look at each one of these 5 practices of exemplary leadership. To be a leader who models the way, you need to know what it is that you value. You need to clarify your values by finding your voice and affirming a shared value among the group. You have to set the example by aligning your actions with the values that go with your team. Inspiring a shared vision, if you think back to the qualities of an admired leader, part of it has to do with being able to inspire a shared vision. And so by being able to do that, by seeing future possibilities and by getting others involved in that, as a leader, you're going to be able to have a better functioning team and work people who are engaged in the process. Challenge the process is one of the most difficult areas of the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. In Challenge the Process, we search for opportunities and seize the initiative. We look for ways to improve what we're already doing. If you've read the book Good to Great by Jim Collins, you know that good can be the enemy of great. Challenging the process would say, we're doing this, but what else could we do? What could we do differently? Challenging the process involves experimenting, taking risks. Sometimes that means normalizing failure, making it okay to make a mistake, but also generating some small wins, learning from those experiences, celebrating success. And so challenging the process is a really important practice within the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. enabling others to act, you know that every member of your team will somehow be involved in the process. This opportunity is for you to strengthen others by increasing their self-determination and developing competence. This is also a hard one for leaders because sometimes we don't like to delegate. We hold on to things. Well, if it's going to be done right, then I should do it myself. Enabling others to act would say we are a stronger team when every person has voice and a hand in what's going on. So enabling others to act is all about fostering collaboration and building trust and building relationships. And finally, encourage the heart. This is important to recognize contributions by showing appreciation for individual excellence, celebrating the values and the victories by creating a spirit of community. How exactly are you encouraging your employees and your bosses, all the people who work around you? Are you sending notes? Are you sending emails? Are you doing a pizza party? What are the things that you're doing? And really, what are some things that maybe you're intending to encourage the heart that are actually doing some damage? So we'll spend some time talking about how do we encourage our team members. I ask you, are you ready for the challenge? Are you ready to take the leadership challenge and to challenge yourself on what you know about yourself as a leader? Here's the reality. Every workshop, every class, every seminar I've ever sat in, and let's even face it, faculty meetings or faculty development, I can go into it saying, look, I already know this. I've got this. I've been doing this for a long time. Or I can go into it saying, I'm going to learn something. I believe that in almost every situation, our own attitude and our own willingness to accept that we maybe can learn something certainly impacts the outcome. Those moments when I say, no matter what today during this professional development, I am going to learn something, then I find I do learn something. So my encouragement to you as we go through this course is that you would say, I'm going to learn something each week, and that you would put your mind towards that. That with each reading, with each video, and with each reflection, that you truly sit back and you reflect on yourself as a leader and reflect on those leaders with whom you've worked, and you say, what can you learn and how are you going to implement that in your own leadership style and practice?